our May 22nd of May ordinary council meeting, and I declare the meeting open. Warren Shire acknowledges the traditional owners of the lands within Warren Shire and acknowledges the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who reside in our shire. Mr. General Manager, I'll ask you for any apologies or applications of leave, please.
Application apologies from Councillor Jackson and Councillor Houston.
Can I entertain a motion for that, Councillor Derrick? Sorry, Councillor McCloskey. Thank you. I'll call that motion. All in favour? I thank you very much. Item 4, ladies and gentlemen, is confirmation of the minutes of the previous of our April meeting. Could I have a mover and a seconder? Councillor Surdity, thank you very much. Councillor McKay. Thank you, Councillor Surdity. This discussions of any discussions, ladies and gentlemen? No discussions. I'll put that motion. All those in favour? Thank you very much. Mr. General Manager, have you heard any disclosures of interest?
Nil received.
Nil received. There isn't a mayoral minute at this meeting. So we'll move on to the reports. I'm looking for a mover and a seconder for the first item and item 7, Economic Development and Promotions Committee. Councillor Derrick, second of Councillor Surdity. Councillor Derrick.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Not a great deal more to add, but just in relation to the Drought Resilience Plan project, the committee was shown a copy of the full project business plan, which I have a copy of here if anyone should be interested. To my knowledge, we're still awaiting the outcome of the funding application for the project to proceed. But as I said, all the fine details are in this project plan. If anyone is interested to have a look. I guess just one thing regarding some of the initiatives that might be considered that's spelled out in the business plan. So we're talking about things like farm stay and agritourism projects or programs, guided farm tours and experiences, farm gate and regional produce markets. So it's fairly wide and hopefully there is some interest in developing those types of enterprises around this region. But yes, all depending on the funding still at this stage. Happy to take any further questions. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor. This has been a long, drawn-out process. I congratulate our staff and those that have put work into it. The hoops that we've had to jump through with our the way it was done with 3 councillors with a combination of Coonamble, Bogan and ourselves has brought us closer. There will be a bit of a rush to do the projects because I think the funding has to be spent in this fiscal year. So, Councillor Derrick.
Yeah, thank you. So I forgot to mention that bit. So the project completion date has been extended to 28th of November. So it was originally end of June.
Yeah. Yes.
Obviously, we're still waiting for announcement of the funding, and that has actually been extended.
And I publicly commend Ms. Barlow on the work and stress that she's been under to get this across the ground. We are the lead agency of the 3 LGAs, and yeah, no. Good. Any other comments? If not, I'll put that all in favour. Thank you. 2 of 7 meeting of the local emergency management committee. Just a motion and a second to get this the General Manager to report on that, please. Councillor Cleesby, Councillor Mackay, General Manager.
No.
No comments from the councillors. Councillor Mackay.
Pretty Mayor, is there a new sergeant in town?
Not yet.
Not yet.
6 to 8 weeks we hope.
Perfect. And the one that we discussed, I think, last meeting has accepted.
It hasn't been formally announced, councillor, but scuttlebutt is that he has accepted the role and is in the process of moving his family. Acting Inspector Weigold has been in contact with the Shire confirming that and told us 6 or 8 weeks. Again, scuttlebutt on the truth. It'll be a matter of sooner than that. Any other questions, comments? I'll put that all in favour. Thank you. The third item in 7, the Mannix report of Mannix again, a mover and a seconder to get discussion underway. Councillor Kinsey, Councillor Cleesby, General Manager, comment.
So you may have noticed that we've with our new communications and marketing consultant starting to beef up press releases and newsletters. If you look on page 3 and 2 of the minutes, there's a fair amount of going to the June newsletter. Hopefully, commencement and finishing EV stations. Hopefully, the finish of the facilities over at Victoria Park. Fair amount of road work. Fair amount of drone footage. Whisper rollout on. And of course, pretty important. Eventually, we will have an approved press release for the Warren Levy Bank Rehabilitation Riverbank Rock Armouring Works contract, which takes time because it's 3 government departments as well as the mayor who has to approve it. We're very, very pleased. I almost gave the guy who organised the $4.27 million, 3%, almost gave it to him as a fine to speak. We're pretty happy because straight away most of it was put straight into what we're supposed to be doing is covering our costs, but also some investment straight away. Fair amount of roadworks going on out there. That Sylvester may talk to. We're still trying to get $700,000 of flood damage restoration work that's finished and done, paid for. Still big works programs that everyone's watching our costs. The state cover to target assistance. So state cover is our insurer for workers' compensation. And on page 13 is a bit of a program of priorities for trying to improve reduce our costs for workers' compensation. And we've still got, and one really positive thing is that we've actually had 2 more trainees approved by the Office of Local Government, being on page 14, 2 at the bottom, the trainee administration officer will make my executive assistant extremely happy, and the trainee plant operator, someone for the future to be a trainee plant operator like we used to have. What would you say? 15 years to 30 years ago. Made it even better. 100% of their wages and about half their on costs are paid for by the scheme, which is good. That's about it, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Gary. A couple of comments from me. One is I'll hopefully thank Resilience New South Wales, Mal Langren, who helped me facilitate finding the monies that were owed to us. He went over and above personal contact with him, and he was texting and emailing me till 8:30 at night finding those monies. it, it, it indicated to me that, whilst it costs this, association monies for, me or representatives to go away it costs me time and this organiser monies. Personal face-to-face stuff is a long way. It does work, and it is worth the expense that council has got to pack myself or one of our representatives and the general manager off to these workshops and country mayor meetings and LG New South Wales meetings. I'm now uncomfortably or comfortably on first name basis with three individual state government ministers and the support that our local member and B the workshopping we do and the networking we do when we're away, whilst it's really not, I'm not comfortable doing it, it is working. So that part of it was has been really good. So if there's no other comments, I'll put that. All those in favour?
I've got a comment, sorry, Mr. Mayor.
Mr.
A question. And I think this is the appropriate spot. In the last couple of weeks, I imagine some of us or all of us saw an email from a local about Nevertire Cemetery. It seems to me that the village crews have missed or something, or haven't been concentrating on that. I don't know who wants to answer that, but have we turned that around, fix it up? The photos were disgusting.
I'll answer that. Yeah, we saw that was appropriately dealt with by staff this week, and more to the point, there's been some consultation with agronomists so that it won't happen again.
Thank you.
No other comments? I'll put that. Sorry, councillor.
Community member, just advising that there's signs on the Cromwell Road are being deliberately knocked over. Has anybody had any other feedback on that?
We received that advice.
It's
So
been acted.
Just bring it to her attention. She wasn't sure about it.
Acted on, councillor.
Thank you.
So I'll put that all in favour. Mannix, meeting of the Mannix on the 13th of May. We'll move on quickly to the traffic committee, looking for a motion. Councillor Kelly, thank you. Second, councillor Mate. Councillor Kelly, who is on our traffic committee.
Basically, move that the minutes be received and noted by the council.
Sorry,
We missed the second.
councillor McCloskey.
McCloskey.
Apologise, girls. Sorry, councillor Kelly.
Basically, the recommendations that the minutes be received and noted by members of the council. The meeting took place. The main topic of discussion on the day was the EV station, in particular the one in the main street. It was wholeheartedly supported by the traffic committee, and basically, given the green light, then each body involved will carry out their duties to make sure that the signage is all in place. Other than that, it was a fairly brisk meeting. Nothing else to add.
Thank you, councillor Kelly. Any comments from councillors?
Just one question, please, Mr. Mayor. The question is for councillor Derrett.
Just true me, mate, please.
Yep, it's for councillor Derrett to answer, if you don't mind. With these EV stations, do we have a plan to advertise or promote the fact that they now will exist when they do exist? And it seems like it's a economic development type of activity. Are we doing that?
We're doing it in an extensive way. You watch this space.
Right.
We think almost an EV capital of the West, councillor. That's the idea.
Councillor Derrett.
Sorry, can I just clarify that level of detail has not come to the Economic Development Committee at this point. So,
Thank you.
So I'll put that, the traffic committee guys all in favour. Thank you very much. The next one is the meeting of the plant committee, actually yesterday. Looking for a motion that councillor Brewer, seconded councillor McCoskey. Councillor Brewer.
Thank you. A rather quick meeting was had yesterday. The plant committee is in a financially positive situation, Mr. Mayor. We've recently received a new Caterpillar grader and have processed the sale of the replacement unit, which is plant 25. In addition to that, the recommendation there is that we accept the findings of the committee. I've got the wrong one in front of me, and that we the extended flexible working hours are accepted as discussed in the plant committee yesterday. In addition to that, there was a report on the 3 quarries, the privately owned or privately run, and the 2 council quarries as well. And there's some remediation work to be done there. And it was a timely report, particularly for things like signage and safety at those sites. So well-timed report for council to consider.
Any comments, ladies and gentlemen?
Mr. Mayor,
Mr. General Manager.
on the mine safety stuff, I met with Neil Earthmover yesterday. I'm very happy because they'd actually received that and gone and done lots of work to tidy up. And would you believe they actually had, without their knowledge, the mine inspector turn up and they'd done all the work.
Oh.
So it was very, very good timing. Accidentally, that they said, "Oh, we better go and tidy a few things up," and they went and did it. So it was good timing. So
Yeah,
they weren't unhappy at all.
That could have gone a different way, Mr. Mayor, but that's fantastic.
The reason behind all this is the mine safety and stuff, but also monitoring silicon dust. So it's something that had to be done, and yeah, it's good. It's like sweeping your kitchen floor. It's good to keep things clean, neat and tidy, and external eyes is needed sometimes. So I'll put that motion. All in favour? Thank you very much. Item 8, report to the Country Mayors Association meeting in Sydney. If it's appropriate, ladies and gentlemen, I'll move that because I was attending and looking for a seconder. Councillor Wass, thank you. Yeah, as I said earlier, Country Mayors is, in my opinion, our peak body of relevant councils. You've heard me speak before about the difference between large city councils that are politically based and get a lot of their services looked after by state government and state water at our Country Mayors is where generally they're a collective group of relevant people to us, and it's an organisation that has the respect of the political state government ministers. Everyone, I've been to 3 now, and there'll be another one later shortly in Orange, has attracted at least 3 ministers to each one, because they are aware that they will learn something. They won't be attacked. It's a congenial body that's looking for the best for the country, and the regional councils, and as per all of these things, what you learn from the meeting is accentuated by the networking and stuff you do after or during. Worthwhile exercise it'll be worthwhile, for, General Manager and myself going to Orange, in a few weeks. Any questions or comments? Thank you. I'll put that all in favour. Two reports of delegates, looking for a mover and a second to further ordinary meeting of the Macquarie County Council, Councillor Kinsey. And if it's allowed, General Manager, I'll second that because I was at that meeting. Councillor Kinsey.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. The meeting was fairly successful. We determined, it was mentioned before, that we've got an unincorporated area which is Birkenby beyond the border, which we are being responsible for inspecting. It looks as if we're going to have to put a permanent person in that position, which we feel that we've got the funds to do that and to take the workload off the staff we already have. It would appear at this point in time that we're going to lose 2 people out of our weed spraying crew. They're getting old and they're going to retire. It's a bit sad, but anyhow, it's just luck on replacing those guys with some appropriate individual. The audit situation for us is, I find, is becoming advertising. It's the cost of it all. I don't know what we're going to do about it, but we've got to make the audit a lot easier to be done and not so expensive. There are actually one interesting thing. There are actually 8 county councils in New South Wales that do similar work to us. I didn't realise there were many of them. So it's a pretty efficient way to get rid of weeds with these things, because single councils just don't seem to be able to do it by themselves. A bit of luck, we could organise more county councils to exist, Mr. Mayor, if we need Pythium weed has been found, unfortunately, often. A fair bit around the Walgett area. We have had it here in the Warren Shire. Our weeds officers are pretty damn good at finding this stuff and dealing with it. The county is pretty well shoot up with money. We've got over $1 million away, but if you think about what it costs to run the show, money you're going to have put away for to pay your employees when they retire and all that sort of stuff, it's probably only just enough, if it is enough. On the Riccia cactus thing, we have a fair bit of Riccia cactus on the Warren Trengy Council boundary, and I feel as if the Trengy Shire is, or the Narromine Shire is definitely not doing their part with that stuff. But our chief weeds officer is up to speed with that. The African boxthorn, well, we're doing all right with it, but it's a queer animal. It actually can throw the leaves off, and then the rust doesn't work anymore. So then it puts the leaves back on, and away we go. We start again. And that's causing a few issues for us. I had to attend an ARAC meeting 3 or 4 weeks ago, and this stuff about auditing came up, and the people who were involved in the ARAC meeting, our chairman in particular, I can't think of the surname, she said it's ridiculous that a council like ours has got the cost of all this auditing coming at us, and it'd probably be a lot better for us if it wasn't so jolly expensive. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Kinsey. The only comment I've got to that, and whilst I was at the country mayors, I did interview the state government. Announced that they have a commissioner of weeds, and I interviewed her and expressed some of the comments that Councillor Kinsey's just made. So I'll put that motion all in favour. Thank you, councillors. Next as we've workshopped our policies, I'm going to entertain a motion from someone to move that we accept our policies in whole. These are all, can I publicly comment that these are all the intent of 90% of these has not changed. The language, some of the language has changed. The ones that have changed slightly have been workshopped by you guys. So I'm looking for Councillor Kinsey against seconded Councillor Brewer that our policies from item 1 to 23 be accepted. Is there any comment, councillors? Councillor Kinsey?
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, I think it get through it that way, it's a bit of paperwork involved. But due to the fact that we can change it any time we like, I just don't see any problem with just agreeing with it. And if it's something comes up, we can do something about it later on when the appropriate time comes. Thank you, Mr.
Councillor Kinsey, any other comments? Yeah, I apologise to the owners of A staff and B, you guys going through the multitude of these things, but it is important. It is compulsory for us to do in the first year of term. But as Councillor Kinsey said, policy councillors can review a policy at any time if do a motion to review a policy at any time. So, sorry, gentlemen.
Mr. Mayor, two positives is that councillors are getting to know their policies, and the second one, staff are actually taking ownership of the policies too.
Councillor Walsh.
Question about item 9, which we've previously discussed, is there an opportunity if we pass all these 23 now, is there opportunity to refine item 9 at a later date?
Item 9's item 9's actually being advertised.
It's
8 and 9.
8 and 9 will come back after the advertising point.
Mr. Mayor, if there's no adverse comments, it'll be automatically adopted. If there are adverse comments, that's what the period of advertising is.
Yes, understood. Any other, thank you, gentlemen. Any other comments? Thank you, guys. I'll put that all in favour. Thank you very much. We now move to reports of the General Manager. I'm looking for a mover and a second to get this underway. Councillor Wass, Councillor Cleesby, General Manager.
All the grey details, but on page 5, you'll notice that our April policies have all been adopted and organised into our, and as that is all done, they are renewed on our register and on our website. But just to quickly go through things about we've on the first one, page 1, we've actually at last received advice from Telstra of the actions they're starting to take in regard to Starlink, which I think has been secret business for some time until and hopefully in the next 18 months. And let's hope that all our handsets, our existing handsets, can actually use Starlink through Telstra. That might see us when we go out to Navatai, might be able to call someone and put a Telstra phone, councillor.
When do you expect that to happen?
next 18 months, we hope, let's hope handsets, we'll be able to use it.
Hey, General Manager, there is one comment that text will arrive before political.
We're about to text each other.
Cynical, Councillor Kingston. Continue, General Manager.
Just continuing on, just starting to try to remove and tidy up things that are no longer there. Going on to page 2, sadly, our Australian Government's Housing Support Program grant has been unsuccessful. Some workshops have been completed in relation to Destination Macquarie Marshes by the Economic Development Visitation Manager, and Destination Macquarie Marshes task force is in the middle of finalising logos and all sorts of things in relation to that, which will start to project the Macquarie Marshes in a positive way. Mannix on page 3, Matt at the bottom, page 3, Mannix, our project management procedure has been adopted, and we're now going to get our staff trained in it. Just start, as I say, on bottom of page 5, we're just our policies that have been adopted starting to get all tidied up. Continuing on, everything's organised for our, on page 6, our local roads congress attendance. We've engaged the contractor for our 3 EV stations. Everything's happening in relation to traffic committee, so it's all organised, and we're believe everything should be right for 3 stations to be up and running by the 30th of June. And that was also at the bottom of page 7 and top of page 8. Our policies, so far we've done 31, 23 and about 6. So I reckon there's about another 30 policies to go. 2 really big policies, which is the Code of Conduct and the Code of Meeting Practice, won't happen till right at the end because we're waiting for wonderful changes from the Minister for Local Government and Office of Local Government on Code of Conduct and Code of Meeting Practice. ARIC committee checklist, lots of work done on page 10. We've got a committee meeting on 28th of May. Page 11, again more policies all tidied up. Page 12, most of our generators are turned up. I think there's one big one still to come. I don't know whether it's turned up yet. Next couple of days, we hope. The contractor has been engaged for the levy rehabilitation works. Watch this space as media releases gets approved, and we tell the world, with you a bit of a warning. We've sent letters out and knocked on doors of areas where residents are going to be affected, and you may get queried. Send them to the infrastructure projects manager or myself to help them. The contractor is also responsible for doing exactly the same, but we're just making sure it's doubled up.
Could I just interrupt that this should be finished by December?
We're on page 15. We're almost to the stage of everything getting going again in relation to the CCTV camera work, and also most works are very close to finishing out at the sewage treatment works on page 16. Lots of things in relation to the levy works on page 19, all done. And the general tidy up of all those policies that have just been moved forward. some of them being moved forward. Roads Committee and the other ones have been register on the website and here. That's page 20 and page 21. Arrangements for motor vehicle contract finalised. Same with all the provision plant hire contract finalised. And again, managed health and development services or her contracts for April all done and dusted on page 25, and that's it. Mr. Mayor.
Right.
Fair bit of what's going on, guys. Questions, councillor Brill?
Yeah, a couple of questions. Can I get an update on the Carter Oval amenities and when that's likely to be open? We're going to have an official opening at some point.
We've done that, councillor.
Have we?
That December.
We did that in December.
So when is it fit for use right now for this winter sporting season?
The fields are still, the cricket is still going to be a chance over at Victoria Park Oval. The soccer is 100% there, and eventually junior cricket could almost be there because it's on the turf, AstroTurf pitch, where we will start moving everyone to there very, very soon. It's the facilities are the building is finished.
Right.
Yeah,
Excellent.
for you, just in relation to the building, to the bit. All the defects that were noted or that they've all been completed.
There's still a fair amount to get the cricket field right. A little bit pitch wise, but mostly trying to make sure that that you don't get a cricket ball up into your face as you're going down to making sure everything's right. I'll call it in the outer.
Yeah, all that top dressing that we done back here a month ago.
And there's still a bit of work to be done with surrounds.
And is the cricket pitch per se, it's progressing, like in terms of,
Yeah, no, everything's, there's nothing, it's the pitch over there is the one, there's a chance that should be right for the next season, but we can't guarantee that yet. Parks and facilities are working on both.
And one more question about buildings, the Pound building, how are we tracking with that? That's still not complete. Are we on track to finish that? It seems like the longest build on the face of the planet.
Oh, we're using local contractors or close to local contractors as much as possible, trying to finish it before 30th of June. We actually purposely, a few of us actually, so the Ranger and I and the infrastructure project manager have been through the $7.6 million Dubbo Regional Council new pound, and we've picked up a few little things that will help us make ours almost as good at $140,000.
It's progressive.
It'll be. I think they're working on 30th of June finish, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah, thank you.
Anyone else? Comments? From my point of view, a lot going on around this organisation and just keeping on top of everything. It takes a little bit of doing, but our staff's doing it. In my opinion, no. We're getting there. Everything's progressing as it should be. So I'll put that motion, all to accept. Over. Thank you very much. Sorry? Oh. As per tradition, guys, for this, whilst the general manager and I are comparing how good our knees are, we stand for this, as our input for a healthy Shire, and we'll also at 10 o'clock, we'll be healthily walking down to Morris Street to, partake in the biggest morning tea, but, if I can find my spot here.
Mover in a second.
A mover and a second for item 2 of the reports from General Manager, the committee delegates meeting, please. Councillor Surdey, Councillor McCloskey, Councillor Surdey.
Nothing.
General Manager, you have no comment. Thank you. We'll put that motion all.
Yeah, I thought you'd want to talk about your reading skills.
Um,
You should have some good reading skills passed on to the children yesterday.
Councillor Surdey. I can inform councillors that there will be some delegation of some jobs. And to read a picture comes book to 200 preschool and infants kids yesterday. I've done it once, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be looking for volunteers next time, and there might be too much volunteering in it. Thank you.
Passing on the baton.
Mr. Mayor, look, I understand those young kindergarten children will learn about science fiction, and the best science fiction writer Asimov. Just you, if you get it,
Just
do it.
I'm not going to let this end. I'm ordering a red onesie for the general manager to do it next time. Thank you, councillors. How are we going?
That's great.
Item 3 of the general manager is the work projects, infrastructure, and we'll see Councillor Brewer that somebody questions for that here. I'm looking for a mover and a seconder. Thank you, Councillor Kinsey and Councillor McCloskey. General Manager, have you got comments?
Very, very soon. I would expect probably. I think there's still 2,000 tonnes of rock be carted to Sayard, so we just have to push it up so they can actually fit it in. And I would expect some movement within a month. What do you think? A month for that contractor? Yeah. Look, we were very, very lucky. Between 96 and 2001, we felt we had a very good professional contractor for the levee reconstruction works back then. We think we've got the same thing, probably one of the better medium-sized contractors who do levee and river and foreshore work in Australia. Not a tier 1, but probably find somewhere between tier 2 and tier 3, which is the type of contractor we would like to work with. It'll be well supervised. One of our officers will be on site, plus infrastructure project manager, divisional manager, engineering services, and the general manager who are pretty keen on that particular project. That's the project team. Plus the town services manager who's responsible for the floodgate stuff. That there's lots of work happening around the place. They're based out of our depot at the moment. And we will cross fingers. We have contingencies, and we're hoping that our contingencies, not much will be used, and we've got some other work that we may hopefully get government departments to approve as it leads up to Christmas. That's the most interesting one, and everything so far is correct budget wise on that total $7.1 million project. As I said, the dog pound hopefully will finished by the end of June. Budget wise is okay. I don't know whether we can afford to do a bit of ceiling works into it yet. I don't know.
Sorry, what, the ceiling work?
Bitumen ceiling works, not 100% certain on that last 20,000, how much there's $20,000 left. We do a lot of commitment costing, so orders are written beforehand the way they're supposed to, so you can actually watch your budgets. On the very last one, we unfortunately we've been advised for writing this report that we've been unsuccessful with our Christmas party funding. So we have to work out how we're going to have a Christmas party over the next 6 months.
Which,
Yes.
costing figure? Where,
That look, bare minimum somewhere between 30 and 40,000. That would be trying to get donations for fireworks.
I think we're not alone, and there's other councils of their community projects like this funding has been scrubbed. Councillor McCoskey.
Gentlemen, you said 30 to 40,000 inclusive of the fireworks.
I think 5, yeah.
So it could be 40,000 plus the fireworks.
Yeah.
So you might be up for 45, 50K.
Oh, it's certainly a minimum $60,000 to $65,000 with fireworks. It's certainly 35 to 40,000 plus fireworks.
The actual road closures could be 10 to 15. We've got overtime for our staff. It needs some consideration where we go with this. I'm not asking you to think. I'm just asking you to mull on this until in the next 6 months, or until we make a decision, or the relative committee makes a decision. It's unfortunate, but it is what's happening with shall I say soft funding for things in the state government at the moment. I think Bathurst lost their Winter Festival, one in Orange gone. Brewarrina Council were very lucky, they got theirs across the line. But they might be using fundings from other sources. Any questions, comments before I close?
Yes, please.
Sorry, Councillor Brewer.
Can someone explain to me, please, what a modern slavery risk assessment looks like, and who we paid $15,000 to?
I think we've engaged local government New South Wales, local government procurement, which is the procurement arm of local government New South Wales, and that's really setting up all our procedures and documents, particularly in relation to procurement contracts. The law says that we have to do this nowadays to make sure that we're actually not purchasing any equipment or services where there is slavery, where the gear is coming from slavery.
I mean, Mr. Mayor, like the process of becoming on the list for tender panel and those sorts of instruments surely filters out some of that risk that we've got to
It does.
pay some wasted
Sorry to
gas.
interrupt, Council, it does, but this is stuff like this, especially the slavery one, is imposed on us from above, and unfortunately we can't do anything about it. It is public policy and other government above us. Any other questions? I'll put that that report, all those in favour, Thank you very much. The next one is reports for the divisional manager, finance and administration. I'm looking for a mover and a seconder for item 1, which is the reconciliation certificate. Councillor Sturdy, Councillor McCoskey, Councillor Sturdy. Through you, General Manager, has anyone got any questions for our divisional manager? Or divisional manager got any comments you would like to bring to council's notice? Nothing? Comments, anyone? I'll put that all in favour. Thanks, ladies and gentlemen. Item 2 is the statement of rates and annual charges. Looking for a second of that. Councillor Sturdy is quick on the arm today. Councillor Cleesby's following. Thank you, Councillor Sturdy.
Nice to see it's still keeping up there. Thank you.
General Manager, through your director, if you've got any comments, anything you'd like to bring up or to the notice? No. In that case, ladies and gentlemen, any questions? I'll put that all in favour. Thank you very much. Item 3, works progress report. Work progress, finance and administration. Looking for a mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Wass. Councillor Sturdy, Councillor Wass.
Recommendation, Mayor.
Ladies and gentlemen, or General Manager, comments to this, please.
Mr Mayor, a fair amount of that money left over will be carried over into hopefully to 25, 26 to progress our ICT and finance and surprise the world when we eventually have electronic document management system. Plus your budget for 25, 26 or fair, you'll have a good budget to hopefully improve our IT.
Through you, Mr Mayor, just an update on that project. We've recently had the Fiberlink, which is internet service dedicated to council, 250 gigabyte up and down speed. So we're currently in a bit of a testing phase for that to make sure that they're guaranteed for the service, that it can do the speed that they say it will. That was a hold up with the records management system progressing. So hopefully soon we can have that in as it should be and progress things move forward.
Any other comments, councillors? Put that, all those in favour. Thank you. Item 4, quarterly budget review. Looking for a mover and a seconder. Mover and seconder for the quarterly budget review, Councillor Kinsey, Councillor Cleesby, Councillor Kinsey.
Mr Mayor, a recommendation, Mr Mayor.
General Manager or Director, you got any comments or other than your report?
I'll pass on to Brad, but really there's nothing negative. Nothing negative in there. It's really just tidying up. Grants, estimating what we're going to spend for certain grants. Income in equals expenditure out. Just tidying up what really has happened through the year. But as I say, you've found not much negative at all in sense of and nothing to worry about.
Mr. the Chair, that essentially council aimed for a balanced budget scenario, so that's still been maintained. So a lot of these items, grant funding items, that have occurred. So we have to wait until a budget review every quarter to officially recognise those. And they're what's considered a contra situation. So the income and the expenditure are equal and opposite. So it has no actual impact on the budget overall. It's a balanced scenario. So unless there's any specific questions.
Councillor McKay.
Mr. Mayor, the investments that we had, the budget or the budgeted revenue or returns that we had for those, I'd say that there were two that were due yesterday and the day before. Have they been rolled and at what rate? And how did that rate compare to what was budgeted?
Yep. So on that, off the top of my head, I think one of them was rolled for the same term. The others were redeemed, and I've executed other investments since then. So typically, you know, at present we have an on-call savings account, which is effectively a liquid investment. Commonwealth Bank have capped it and offered us a flat 4.1% return on that. So I haven't been looking to roll out any other investments at this stage because the rates aren't really much different. So we're probably better off having the money sitting in the on-call savings account as opposed to being locked away. Just as of this morning, I've got in there again and checked out the rates. I think the highest we can get for a 3-month term is 4.3%. So until such time as interest rates become more favourable, but typically I allow for whatever's known cash flow wise if we have large payments going out or money's being returned in. Recently we had what was about 4.3 million fund come in. That money was already spent prior, I understand. So we do have probably about 4 million roughly that I could look to reinvest. As far as the target goes, I've just picked up a bit more of a comparative kind of data report from the business that we use to facilitate investments. So they don't handle the money for us or anything. They're just like a go-to from all the deposit-taking institutions, and they're pretty competitive. They offer a report. It's a free service, so that takes into consideration council's investment policy, counterparty limits with maturity, the ratings, and so the ratings of the institutions, that is, and it looks at comparatives of indices, so your BBSW and whatnot. So just at a quick glance of that today, now that they've recently had it set up, council's investments are performing somewhere from 0.5% or higher than the current BBSW rates. So I think we'll pretty much hit what we budgeted for on interest received for the year, and we'll probably recognise a lot of that, the tail end of it from investments, or just be an accrual at the end of the year as to how that comes about. So we won't physically receive that cash until next financial year, but we show it in this year, if that makes sense.
And 25, 26, we've been very conservative. Mr. Mayor.
Any
Conservative than this year.
This year started at Councillor McKay started at about 4.8, and obviously things changed 0.25% the other day, and money markets and interest rates you would think would trend down, I think. Any other comments or questions? The item with from me is that I'm reasonably confident that changeover on 30th of June would be to budget, considering sometimes there might be withdrawals of some of our major grant stuff, but it is, and as I've said previously, it's ultra important when we do funded works, that when we do them, we get paid for them in the most expedient time. If there's no further questions, I'll put that, please. All those in favour? Thank you, Divisional Manager, for that. We'll move on to engineering services. For item 1 there, the works progress report roads. Looking for a mover and seconded. Councillor Cleesby, Councillor Kinsey, Councillor Cleesby.
Received and noted.
For you, General Manager, Sylvester, have you got any anything you wish to add to your report?
That the major works towards zero safer roads program on Carina Road and Matagai Road are ongoing, along with the flood damage works and the bridge replacement. They're currently doing the culvert on the causeway next to the Matagai Creek before doing the approach road works on that bridge. So expected completion date is 30th of June this year. There's a bit of bad news with regards to our grant applications. We were unsuccessful with the housing support program grant, and also the 2 applications were made for the Get New South Wales active grant. So both those are unsuccessful, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, comments, questions? General Manager, you got anything to add?
No projects, we're not worried about overall the budget of the bottom line, most program areas.
If you may question Divisional Manager, have you got your okay for the Oxley Highway intersection? Yeah.
Okay, from transport.
Yes. For the Oxley Highway, Quambone Road intersection.
No, not yet, Mr. Mayor. We received additional comments from Transport for New South Wales. That's what we're dealing with now. So we expect to give them the feedback by end of next week.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions? I'll put that all in favour. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Works progress, town services, looking for a mover and a seconder. Please, mover and seconder, Councillor Kelly, Councillor Surdity, and Councillor Kelly.
Just commenting that the information received and noted.
There's a bit highlighted there that it's finished. For you, General Manager, Director, you got any comments on any of this?
Mr. Mayor, as earlier discussed, there's quite a bit going on along the levees with the floodgates. So the contractor is placed at the depot, and yes, it's plodding along. And our major studies that are ongoing, the integrated water cycle management strategy and the Warrenshire water security project also.
Any other questions or comments, Councillor Surdity?
Just one, if I can, please, in relation to the Nevertire Cemetery, you were talking about the grounds that put their feed into it. What exactly have they decided to do? The reason I ask is
Chemical sterilisation, Councillor Surdity.
these have been taken away.
They're dead as we speak.
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes. Yes. Yes.
But they still don't look the best.
Yes.
They're dead, they're dead, and they're just a muck sitting on the ground.
Councillor McCloskey.
Just in relation to what Councillor said is referring to. Even though they're dead, if they're not removed, it's still untidy.
Yeah.
They need to be removed. There need to be a bare ground like that there, and then chemical sterilisation of what they're after, so no weeds come back. So the weeds, if they're still there, be they dead, need to be removed.
Councillor McCloskey, I take that on board. I was aware of all the emails and phone calls on, I can guarantee the staff are now aware that this is a sensitive area. And we'll manage it. Other questions? Councillor King?
Why aren't we getting the Castlereagh Macquarie County Council to do this work for us? Because that's what they do for a living.
Not exactly this stuff, but yeah, that has been mentioned to staff, that the possibility of contracting them, and that's a management thing that we'll leave to the motion. Questions, anything else? The levy reconstruction will be inconvenient to people in town. Can't get away from it. So there'll be a comments to you all, just direct them to General Manager. Slight inconvenience for 6 months doing this is a lot better, and upgrading our gates is a lot better than being flooded riverine wise, or flooded because we can't exit water after while the levee gate. So there will be problems for the next 6 months. We can't get away with that. They'll be mentioned to you, but ensure to the ratepayers that that will minimise the impact. Councillor McCloskey.
Chair, that's a given, but I think it's critical that during the process that there is constant communication with those that are affected, so that they know what's happening, when it's happening, and that they have no less of what they've got now when it's finished, so that everything's restored back to its original state. But just keep them in the loop all the time to what and when is happening and how it's going to happen, so that there's no miscommunication, otherwise it'll just become a dog's breakfast.
Like point taken, and my comment to General Manager in Hobbs is basically communication's the key. So, any other comments, Councillor Cleesby?
Through the chair, I attended the Callaway Anzac Day ceremony, and it was noted that the lead up the day before, the locals had to clean the area around where the ceremony was held. So I don't know what our work program was leading up to it, or if it got missed, but it was noted by the people of Callaway that lawnmowers cleaning it. It's not a big area, but still should have been cleaned prior to, or at least mowed prior to the ceremony.
Point noted, Councillor. Thank you. A few issues with the villages because they're not in the centre of operations, and that's been noted to staff. Thank you. Anyone else? I'll put that all in favour. Thank you. Item 3, work process reports plan. I'm looking for a mover and seconder, please. Councillor Brewer. Councillor McCloskey, Councillor Brewer.
I'm happy to move the recommendation. Thank you.
Any other comment, questions? Divisional Manager, you got anything to need to comment with? I saw the new grader working the other day. Minor hiccup one day, but it's back. Everything's going all right. The Divisional Manager, I understand from the General Manager, we've taken delivery of a couple of new trucks in the last couple of days. The policy of keeping our plant up to SMIC standard is underway with obviously the comments from the plant committee that our replacement cycle is probably under budgeted, and efficiencies need to be monies need to be found to keep our plant efficient in 15-year replacement cycle. Any other comments, General Manager? You got any comments? No. I'll put that all of those in favour. Thank you very much. Item 4, Manager of Engineering Services, LG New South Wales Water Management Conference. I'm looking just for a mover and a seconder of that, please. Councillor Kingsley, Councillor Ross. Divisional Manager, you've got any comments through that? General Manager?
If no one's available and interested and available at the meeting now, officer responsible will put a express of interest out to anyone in best dress. But a check with the chair. James, Councillor Kinsey, you're available?
I don't know at this stage.
It's in September, so is that a good time?
9th and 11th of September. We'll leave that on notice. Councillors, if anyone, I presume it's Mr. Burns. If anyone wanted to accompany Mr. Burns to a water conference, make it known to him, please. So I'll put that. All those in favour? Thank you. We're moving over the page to Report Manager Health and Development Services, Development Applications, it's item 1, looking for a mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Surdity, Councillor Kelly, Councillor Surdity. Don't think there's any comment, Divisional Manager or General Manager. Pretty simple. In that case, I'll put that development applications, item 1. All those in favour? The works progress report, item 2, looking for a mover and a seconder. A seconder for item 2, the works progress report, which is McCloskey and Cleesby. Councillor McCloskey.
Just moving the report.
This is an ongoing thing that will continue. General Manager, no comment.
Look, just on page 3, the Manager of Health and Development Services and I are still waiting to receive advice on $39,000 that we spent on setting up a tip for the September to December 22 flood and the reconstruction of our tip road. And it is not at our end is the problem. We have provided all the information, all the certification. It is just unbelievable how slow relevant government departments work. It is unbelievable. Because we've got a road to reconstruct out there and almost $40,000 to get reimbursed, and it's just unbelievable. Public Works Authority is just, I don't know what's happening.
This seems to be an ongoing comment with bureaucracy at the moment. Whether you can write something behind it, I'm not quite sure. Councillor McCoskey.
Through the chair, that being the case in terms of the slowness of a response and getting the funding, but playing the devil's advocate, how long are you willing to wait before you get a yay or nay before council decides to go and do something to itself and fix the road?
We had to do the temporary tip. We've done that. We had to pay for it.
Look, fortunately, we carted a fair amount of reasonable road base. You know, the place you can get into the facility in a big wet, and it's going to happen. I expect it to be approved before the end of June, but this is ridiculous.
Yeah, and I'm talking more in reference to the actual access road, where the loss of the bitumen seal is.
Yes, yes.
Because that's the best friend of the dentist. You lose your fillings going over that where it corrugates. In terms of fixing it temporarily, if you're going to wait any long term, why wouldn't we just grade it up, given you've got a surface there, and run a little light prime seal over it to hold it together and keep the corrugations out of it in the short term?
We grade it every so often. We've done at least 2 grades.
Yeah, but it's by the same token, if you do 1 grade and put a prime seal over it, the gates have to do a 2nd, 3rd and 4th grade.
Yeah, we'll do the best we can. There are certain touch points around our community, and we've already talked about one being cemeteries, and the second most touch point is our waste facility. I found that out pretty quickly in the last 8 months, and I recommend the general manager that his staff are always aware of it. We'll do the best we can, council. Any other comments? Questions? If not, I'll put that. All those in favour of the recommendation, thank you very much. Item 10 is nil. We haven't got motions without motions, but item 11 you'll see is nil, but I'll call on the general manager. There is a matter of urgency that we need to debate. I'll get him to comment on it, to lead it, and then I'll ask for removal.
So, Mr. Mayor, we've had a request from members of the community in relation to a proposed boots, bending and barrels fundraiser for a local fundraiser for a local family, a local person who is fairly ill. And what they've asked is that donation be provided by the council for the cost of the hire of the Warren Showground Camp Draft Arena area, which is approximately $600. We don't think that will be a precedent. We have to be careful because it could happen. Was a precedent. There's purposely no delegated authority for this. We have a list of what normally is our section 356 donations, plus things done by council staff using council plant. That is the one delegation that I've got, but this is different. Probably $600, probably $600 to $1,000, not 600,000. But there's just sufficient money to be able to allow it with the leftover in the budget for and it's this year anyway. So 94. I'd recommend that council donate the cost of it.
So I'm looking for a mover and a second to that. Councillor Derrick, Councillor McCloskey, thank you. This was discussed at Hogs yesterday with Deputy Mayor and myself and General Manager. This is us in kind in kind looking after one of our community that's looked after us.
So,
Yeah,
Mayor, I'll dictate to the ladies, that the council approve the donation of the cost under section 356 of the Local Government Act for hire of the Warren Showground Racecourse facilities for the barrels and bending, and sorry, it's boots, bending and barrels fundraiser. Boots, bending and barrels fundraiser.
22nd of June.
Showground Racecourse for the boots, bending, barrels fundraiser. Are you happy with that?
Yeah, thank you. Boots, barrels and bending.
Boots, is it?
Barrels and bending.
Councillor, while we're doing that, Councillor Brooke,
Have we considered, or have they considered surface preparation of the arena? Because it gets hard and dangerous over time. It needs to be worked before an event. Has that been discussed?
I think the arena was used, hired recently.
Penny.
It's the thing. It's all right.
Okay.
Councillor McCosker, you.
This is the Local Government Act, put Local Government Act in there after 3-5. You happy with that, councillor? And, Mr. Councillors,
This needs to be formally done, guys, but I think this is, a individual involved has done a lot of community service for us, and obviously this is going to be, and she is very seriously sick, the young fan. Any other comments before I put that? Those in favour? Thank you, councillors, for that, and thank you, General Manager, for letting us bring that to you this place. Guys, we're approaching 10.